Hey there, boys and girls of the YouTube world. Today we're going to do something I've been putting off for a while. This here's my 63.5 Galaxie fastback. Pretty nice car, way too nice for me. Slowly but surely, I've been going through the interior, and we're down to the last part where I gotta finish putting the carpet in, the sill plates, and the seat. I'm really delaying it because I got a lot of money in this interior. I really don't want to drive it once I get it done because it's too nice. I don't even want to wash it. I don't wash anything. Oh, yeah, no good. And I really don't want to get it done because then Duff can't ride with because the seats are going to be way too nice for him. And too nice for me for that matter. So, I guess we're going to go through the nitpicky details, getting the carpet all laid out, getting the holes for the seats all marked out and drilled out, cut out, knifed out, burned out, whatever you got to do, and then trimming the carpet and doing the sill plates as well. Never done this before, so you guys might get some entertainment out of this as well. All right. What are you breathing so hard for? You stay out of here. Oh, look, a registration tag from last year when I never drove it. Bounce sheet. That works good to keep the mice out. Allegedly. Duffy likes my new seats. Put some fat mat, poor man's Dynamat down before I put the carpet in here. As you can see, it's pretty long all the way around. I probably got to do a little bit of shuffling around over there. Maybe it's sticking out further this side than the other side. Not looking forward to this. And then I'll have to try to get some trim to go up back there underneath the seat. What I like to do is, lay the carpet out in here and then leave it sit in here for about a year and a half and then throw a sway bar on top of it that you need to install as well. That way it lays in place right where it's got to go. All right, we got all our trash cleaned out of here. We got our carpet laid out. First thing I kind of did was find the center. We'll start with the back one. Of course, Duffy wants to come be part of the video, but I know you guys appreciate that. He appreciates you. Got the back kind of laid in where it wants to go. I'm not going to glue it down because I don't feel like there's a need to. If I need to, I can always glue it down later. So I got it kind of laid out. It's a molded carpet. Fits pretty well. Like I said, it's a little bit long. I wish it was fit a little bit better to the contour along the back of the car here where the back seat is. But I think it'll be just fine. And then when we make that panel back there, maybe I'll leave some extra material to go underneath the carpet, something like that. We'll see what we do there. I might have to look at another car like this just to see exactly how it was done from the factory. So as you can see, I got too much material right here by the back seat, so I'm going to trim that out. And then I'm going to have to trim out where we get up to here, up to our sill plates. There's a bunch of screws. I got some brand new sill plates, but I got some rusty old crappy hardware that I dug out of my crappy old hardware bin. Did you get that itch? Yeah, it feels real good. Let's get started here. Don't worry about cutting too much. They make these things called carpet stretchers. Never seen one, but I've heard of it. So, Reproduction sill plates. Yeah, it's got the 2 steps. That is for that passenger driver side. Here we go. Ooh, these are shiny. Can't wait to scuff these up, huh, Duffy? Basically, this sill plate, all it's going to do is kind of hold everything down and in place. And so you can cut it off. This doesn't have to be a nice cut. You can cut it off however you please, just so long as it's underneath and the sill plate's holding it in. I'm going to cut this one out right around that first trim hole. I think that's better. I tucked the trim up underneath this welting, whatever you want to call it. So now what I guess you don't want to do is take your screw and just put a screw gun on it, twist her in, because the wool and the threads will get wrapped up in there and it'll fray your carpet and wad your carpet up and bad things happen. We should be able to trim this carpet off, so I've got one hole in each end of this trim, and then I've got 2 holes in each of these spots. So if I cut the carpet off just past the first screw hole, I shouldn't have to worry about these farthest outside screw holes. But the inside screw holes, I think what I'm gonna do is, once I get everything in place, apply some heat from the torch to this pick, and that should just slice right through that carpet once we get to that point. So now I need to figure out where I trim that carpet off at so that I can get this second set of screws in. I can see where my trim holes are that go into the rocker panel, and I'm going from there and I'm trimming this carpet off just inside of that trim hole, and then I'm going to follow it ahead next to this just inside of this next trim hole. And then I should be able to get these screws in without having to worry about the carpet, but the inside screws we'll have to address. I really don't care how crooked I cut this, because it's going to get hidden underneath that sill plate. I'm going to wait till I get this front carpet trimmed out before I do these inside holes, before I heat up that pick and push it through. That being said, let's go to the other side, finish the back up on the other side before we go to that front carpet. Is that what you... I'm doing it wrong, aren't I? Okay. Thanks for your vote of confidence. So here we are at the other side. Again, same deal. Try to line this up in the back as good as you can. It doesn't line up quite as well on this side, but we'll address that. Probably never. Let's be honest. This is as good as it gets around here. This side actually looks like it doesn't even reach out to the trim hole out here, so that's okay. Don't have to trim it that way. I do think I'm going to trim it up. They don't cut these square on these edges like this, so that might be alright. Let's do a test fit. These gems come from Greg Donahue, Collector Car Restorations in Floral City, Florida. I did not buy these. They came with the car. I'm guessing these were bought in the late 90s, early 2000s. So I don't even know if Greg Donahue's still out there selling parts. And I guess, I don't know if you can see it very well on the camera, but there's a crease right here, and you can take and lay this on a flat surface, or if you want to try to get it to follow the contour of the floor, you can take a heat gun, put some heat to it. You don't want to get it real hot or real close so that you melt the fibers, but you can take some of those out of there. Again, I saw it on the interwebs. I've never done this. Looks like we should be good to go. Now, before I move to the front, I just thought of this. I'm going to go ahead and try to find the holes for the seat. Got a little different plan for those. Well, maybe not different, but got my sill plate back off. Now we got to try to find those seat holes. Oh, I did cut holes in the fat mat to identify them. So that might not be so bad. So here's my terrible plan. I'm going to take that pick, get this kind of laid out where I want it to be, and find the hole at the pick, leave that pick in there, heat this punch up with a torch, and then stab it right through the carpet next to the pick. Seems like a terrible idea. Most of this carpet that we're dealing with right here is going to be under the seat anyway, so if we hose her up too bad, we'll go on to plan B. Here we go! odds I get in the first shot? Not that good. Yeah, put your finger under there, and then you'll stab it. 0 for 2. 0 for 3. Fourth time. Got it! You can kind of tell the way that the pick sticks out of the carpet. That kind of resting out how I want it to be, that pick sticking straight up. If it was fighting the carpet and the carpet wanted to push one way or another, it would be laid ahead like that, or back, or in or out. So if my carpet kind of laid out how I want it to be, looks like it's standing pretty much straight up, so that means I must be pretty dang close to where it's got to be. Let's get some heat. Nothing like firing up a torch by the nicest car you got with brand new interior that you've never sat in. Got it! Sorry if I woke you up. Yeah, this is gonna be hot. Go away. All right. But this is gonna stink. Hey, that went pretty good. Does stink though. Worse than you. And then the front seat hole, we're gonna have to go through both pieces of carpet. So I think for now, I'm gonna put a bolt in there just to keep everything lined up. Maybe with a big washer. That'll hold this carpet in place, and then we'll go ahead and trim out that front carpet. That way, everything's kind of laid out where it needs to be before we put that hole in for the other seat. That'll hold the carpet in place relatively well until we can get this situation figured out. So again, we're going to start out centering the carpet up with the transmission hump. It's not really an exact science. That does not fit the tunnel real well. So it's a little bit long over here on the kick panel. Gonna do the same thing. Try to mark where it's gotta go. One thing to keep in mind is I've got the dimmer switch up here for you millennials. That's how you turn the high beam and the low beam on and off. It was on the floor back in the day. So I'm gonna have to trim out around that. I've got a little grommet that goes in there if I can get it close enough. And then also I've got kick panels to install, so those will go over the top of the carpet and that'll hide some of my sins as well. So I'm gonna cut my carpet horizontally here, right where it meets with a kick panel. Starts going up around that. And really, I think we can leave most of this material up here, leave it long, because that kick panel is going to cover it. And if not, we can always trim it later. So I just made a swift little cut from up the firewall down, right about where I thought the dimmer switch was at. Turns out it's pretty dang close. I think that'll be all right. So what I'm gonna end up doing around the dimmer switch is cutting an actual hole. Like I said, I've got a rubber grommet that goes in there and that kind of protects the carpet, hides your cut a little bit as well, then it keeps the carpet from tearing when you're getting in and out of the car and pushing that dimmer switch. So that should be pretty good there. It's still pretty long up here. And I think I'm gonna wait to trim that out until we get the kick panel in place. Between the dimmer switch and these sill plates, that should hold it in place for now. So let's go back here to where we gotta identify the seat bolt hole. You wanna try not to move anything around any more than you really have to. So actually it looks like this hole is just barely gonna catch front carpet. It's just right on the edge of this trim. So maybe we can slide it back. I thought about maybe just burning that hole in this bottom piece of carpet, and then when I put the seat in, I can slide this underneath so that the seat will actually kind of clamp this in place. Or even if it was just a little bit ahead of this hole and you couldn't put the hole through this, that base on the seat should actually grab this as well. Should be good to go. But I think I'm gonna burn right through both of them. It's actually just on the back side of this edging here. Perfect. Coming to check it out? How's it look? What do you think? Maybe we don't need to get it quite so hot this time. And here we are doing interior with the torch. Good to go. I'm gonna grab another bolt and washer to put through there. Duffy came back and told me to grab 3 of them since I had to do the other side. Good call, Duff. You know what irritates me when guys use the longest screws, self-tappers ever to put their sill plates on. When you crawl underneath the car and you see it staring at you like a dagger, waiting to gash your throat. Use the right length hardware on your sill plates. Tech tip of the day. This thing, look at the shine on that. That's like my math teacher in junior high, Mr. Isaacson's forehead. That guy really put some polish on that thing, I tell you what. So now we got these 2 screw holes right here that the carpet is under those screw holes. So let's check to see that they line up with the ones in the car first. I think that'll work. As will that. Goes in their ways. So let's heat this up. Heat up the pick. Run the paint off the rocker panels. My pick is never going to be the same. It still identifies as a pick. Oh yeah, good to go. Like a glove. Well, Greg Donahue even sent some decals to put on there to say Ford, just in case you forgot what you were getting into. That'll be the icing on the cake once we get the seat in. Good call on having those bolts ready, Duff. And now I guess we get to trim the front out up here. Where's my knife? Carpet knife. Who'd have known? Ouch! Well, good thing the carpet's red. That's what's nice about these sharp blades. You barely even feel it till it hits the bone. We're fresh out of SpongeBob Band-Aids. son of a biscuit. I'm pissed. Glad we're about done with this project. Ready for a sandwich. Ah. Now we get to figure out where the gas pedal goes. Sweet. Well, our first serious YouTube injury. Got sick of holding that stupid blue rag, so did her up right. A little electrical tape around the blue rag. Pretty much smash my head on every video, or Chin does, so this is nothing new. I think I'm gonna have to peel this carpet up to find out what exactly we're using for hardware on this gas. That almost looks like it's new-ish. Yeah, we need to find out what that hardware is. I could poke holes through the bottom to find out where the holes are at, but really don't know what the hardware is. So let's take it all back apart again. Because I like doing things multiple times. Whoa, look at that. I even put holes in the fat mat for that when I did that 2 years ago. Make sure to click the thumbs up on this video if you like seeing me hurt myself. Because I can make that happen on a regular basis. Yep, looks like self-tapper-ish. Whatever you call that coarse thread garbage. Let's go find some hardware. So now that we got the right diameter screws and thread pitch for the gas pedal, I'm going to put this carpet back in place, get everything laid out, and then I'm going to go up from underneath, stab this guy through, or something else through, to mark it, and then we'll heat it up and push them through from the top. One of my downfalls is lowering everything I own. Makes it hard to get underneath them. Stay, Todd. You guys tell me when it comes through the floor. So here's our dimmer switch grommet. I think, so you could peel it open right there, and that's where the carpet kind of sits in that groove. I think the bigger groove goes on the bottom, and then this one with the rib goes on the top. Obviously not the one with the writing. That's the way I would have put it in if I hadn't thought so hard on it. So, get out the Finger Slicer 2000 by Stanley here. So I still haven't found somebody to help me carry this bench seat in here, and I really don't want to bugger that nice new seat up. You gonna join in on this? So I haven't found anybody to help carry the bench seat in. So in the meanwhile, I think I'll clean up these kick panels, throw those in place while I'm waiting for somebody to help me carry that bench seat without buggering that all up, because it's a pretty nice piece. So I'm gonna clean these up, find some more rusty Phillips screws, mount these in place. Well, we got our kick panels cleaned up. Did a terrible job at that, but I don't care. Nobody's gonna see them. And we can clean them up later. Probably not gonna happen. So, looks like that one goes over there. This one goes over here. So I think the previous owner took this piece off in order to get the seat out. We're gonna wipe that down before we install it. I can't find the hardware, so let's take one out of the other side so we know what we're looking for. Maybe if we just take them both off, nobody will ever know that they ever existed. Oh, they got ashtrays in it. We're gonna need those. Yeah, right. Like, I'm gonna find a big ugly screw like that in the collection. That'll do, pig. No! Son of a biscuit, drop that screw back there. Sounds like a dirty Max. Maybe Raul is here to help. Good to go. Clean her up before we install it.
Tell my dad.
This is unacceptable.
What's up, Dad? Didn't even come say hi.
Can't believe you didn't bark at you. So I had Raul swing over and help me slide this seat in. What a guy. And now that I got that in place, I'm going to pull these bolts out that I put in there to hold the carpet in place. Reuse those bolts, hold the seat down. And then I just got to put this trim on the seat. We get her pretty much wrapped up. Oh, I'll put them blue ovals on the sill plates here as well. So after tightening all 4 brackets that hold the seat down, the only thing I got left is this trim here. Like everything I do, I should have done this first. So now we're going to try to sneak it up underneath there, put these Phillips screws in. I'm not even going to clean it up because I'm over this. So I got the 2 screws in on the front. The back 2 actually go through the fabric, so I don't know where they really go in. I think I'm just going to... Seems pretty rigid the way it is. I really don't feel like poking a hole in the fabric at this time of day, so we're calling it good. Then you're going to want to do the same thing on the other side. Just sneak it around the front, lift it over the top. There's a little bit of a hook right here. Put your screws in the front, for your screws in the back. Should just be a self-tapper. You might want to drill a pilot hole unless you get lucky and find the same spot, but I would suggest drilling a pilot hole first. Then you're not going to screw up the fabric, hopefully. But like I said, for what I'm doing, that's going to be plenty good enough. And that pretty much wraps the interior install up on the old 63.5 Galaxie. Appreciate you hanging in there with me, watching me go down to 9.5 digits. We're going to wipe the seat down and take her for a rip. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. Have a good one, everybody.